Hey everyone, we're going to give it a few minutes to let any slow folks join, and then we'll get started. Hope y'all are all having a good day. Hey Vanessa, good seeing you again.
Hey, good to see. Oh, I went on mute.
You're on mute, Vanessa.
Uh, yeah,
There
I'm
you
getting
go.
my infusion and my pump is being kind of particular, so you may hear it go off.
Ah, yes, I
Oh,
think we've all been there.
it's almost done. Almost done. The last hour, of course, it starts misbehaving.
Of
So
course.
how's
That's
everybody?
usually when it does. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, there it
Hey,
goes.
Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, everybody.
It's
How's
good to
everybody
see
doing?
you.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
So, are we ready for the holidays?
No,
Oh. Where did
No.
the year go?
Oh, I
That's
know.
what
I
I want
know.
to know.
Yeah, no
Hey,
kidding.
Andrew.
It went by fast.
sure
I think
did.
that for us, it's been so warm down here. It's been like summertime, and all of a sudden, and then boom, it's
We finally
Thanksgiving, and it
got.
still feels like summer. Yep.
Have you been outside today, Marcia?
This morning, there was ice on my windshield.
That's what
I
I'm
didn't.
saying. It's
I know it's cold, and we didn't leave enough time to thaw it off before the bus came. It's like, oh no.
mm,
I know. Go
Yeah,
figure.
we're getting cold here tonight. There's a cold front coming through. I guess we're going to be in the 40s in the morning.
And you're in Florida, right?
That's Orlando. I know, right?
Wow.
I don't
That's
know.
cool.
Tomorrow morning and Saturday morning, it's supposed to be pretty cold. But the thing is, the sun comes out and then it kind of warms it up every day. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Where do you
we're
live,
very
Joe?
we're similar.
Well, I'm in Montana, so between Bozeman and Billings, and we've already had snow and like pretty much went from summer to winter here too. But yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
all good.
Oh, but we're talking what, 40, 50s, low 50s, and it's too cold. It's like, geez,
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
how I ever lived up north because
pretty
it's
chilly for you
miserable
guys.
Yeah, we're big babies down here in
here.
South Texas.
We have thin blood.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I feel like
Oh,
I've got pretty thin blood anymore with I don't know, just with muscle loss or whatever, but the cold really does affect me. So, but I've got to get at least 4 more years for my son to graduate high school. And then maybe we can get out of here in the winter time and go somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely feel the cold a lot, I would say. It affects me where everything hurts and you can't function.
Oh yeah.
So when I
Yeah.
go over to my sister's house, she always keeps it colder than I do. So I dress for parka weather is what I call it.
Yep.
And
I've,
then
yep.
yeah.
Yep. Electric. When I go out hunting, I have electric hand warmers,
Hmm.
electric vest. I have electric socks. And my kid's laughing at me because I've got all these different batteries I got to charge, but it's how I make
It's
it through.
what you gotta do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But and it's funny, I think that really kind of plays a lot into what we're going to be talking about today, right? Different coping strategies
Yeah.
and stressors. So I think why don't we go ahead and get started? And I want to thank everybody for joining us with the Talking with Your Pompey Peeps. On this episode, it's called an episode. We're going to talk about the holidays, how to deal with stressors, but also what are some of our fun family traditions. Um, so yeah, let's do the next slide. So stressors, we've got Thanksgiving coming up, Christmas, different events, and there's different ways we may celebrate. Some of us may go to someone else's house or a restaurant. And I know just for myself, when we went to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving, you always had to think about how far is the travel? Are there stairs? Am I going to be able to use the bathroom? Is the room going to be set up where I can maneuver? How am I going to carry the food to the table? Is there going to be enough food options? Is the day going to be too long? You know, what do I need to take into account in going to Thanksgiving? So, for all of y'all, what are some things that y'all think about? I mean, how do y'all handle going somewhere for the holidays? Anybody want to jump in?
Well, I'll just jump in, like, if
Mhm,
it's tough for me, like, you talk about that, but like, my in-laws have, to get to our bedroom, there's like 9 stairs. And
mhm,
I dread it, and so I don't end up going there very much. That's the only place to sleep, and I don't go there. I've gone there a couple times and haven't gone in a long time, and it's kind of a stressor between my wife and
mhm.
her family. So yeah, that's just a tough one, and she understands, but it's a tough one. And they offered, bless their hearts, but they offered to get an air mattress and put down in the family room. And I don't think they quite understand getting up off of an air mattress, how that would go over
Yeah, that'd
but
be probably just as bad.
I mean, come on. But again, their heart's in the right place, but
It
they
is.
don't understand. So I don't know.
No, no, they don't. And I think that's the hard part, right? Like even people really close to us that are trying. I mean, that's definitely they're trying to make the effort, but it creates it like, well, no, that's not an option either. Come on.
Yeah.
But you just kind of, yeah, that's hard. When I was younger, like I said, we went to my aunt's house and she lived about 45 minutes away. So you already know you've got 2 hours, let's call it travel time, right? Um, Thankfully at that point I was a little more mobile, so going to the bathroom wasn't as big of an issue, but I was in a wheelchair and I had to have people carry me up the flight of stairs because it was an older house and it had like I don't remember 5 or 6 stairs going in and all of the younger, well, not younger, they're all older than me, but all the cousins, it took like 2 or 3 and they just have to hoist you up and lift you in. And then, you just stayed there until it was time to leave and you had to be carried down. But so yeah, that's accessibility of family members' houses can definitely be an issue, right? Um, and that's just something that's really unavoidable other than trying to, you do it at your house, you host. Um, Vanessa, where do you usually celebrate Thanksgiving?
Hey, you may hear my pump a little bit. We're still trying to figure out what's wrong with it.
Okay.
It's misbehaving. We even replaced the batteries. Well, both my kids are grown. My youngest is still at home, but he's
Mhm,
kind of doing his own thing. He has a full-time girlfriend, full-time job, and goes to school. So, he's rarely here. My older
mhm,
son lives in Cocoa Beach, so we're kind of rotating. This year, we're going to go to his house for Thanksgiving. He lives on the Air Force Base in Cocoa. So
mhm,
we're gonna do that. My biggest stressor, I guess, is the food allergies. I don't know how much you
mhm,
know, Tiffany. I've always kind of been lactose intolerant. In the past year now, we added gluten to the mix. So
mm,
yeah, it's been a thing. So that's my biggest stress is to make sure. So people that don't have food allergies definitely have no idea what it's about. Oh, well,
mhm.
you can try this over here. And I'm like, no, I can't try any of that. I have to be really careful with everything. I'm extremely sensitive. So
Yeah,
that's my
and
biggest
mhm.
stress, I think.
I'll be honest, I recently had a friend's daughter and I learned more about the gluten allergy and that it can be incredibly severe for some people to the
Yeah,
point like you even if the spoon was in something with gluten, you need a different spoon. And I'm like, I had no idea,
yeah,
honestly, that it could get that significant. So totally
yeah.
understand what you mean.
Yeah, I'm hypersensitive like that too. We're hoping over time I won't be, but it's been about a
Hmm.
year, about the same as I was last year. So it's
Hmm.
easy at home. I cook everything fresh, fruits,
Hmm.
vegetables, protein. But going out or going to someone's house, So I'm gonna take some things with us that are gluten free. But I
Mhm,
just have to be really careful. Like I said, if someone puts a spoon in there, it's cross contaminated, you know.
mhm.
So that's probably my biggest stress.
So, Ryan, what are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Um, I have been accused of de-stressing my Thanksgiving for most years. There's a conference that I've gone to that's usually like the couple days before. And so
Mhm,
all the shopping and all that kind of stuff I dump on mom. But I do all the cooking and then have people over at my house. This year I'll have to do the shopping too. But that part of it kind of fun. I would say like my contribution to this discussion is just kind of picking up off of what you guys were talking about right before we started. Like, I think this time of year, as we get into weather-related stuff, travel-related stuff,
mhm,
conversations I've had with friends in the past about sensitivity to or awareness of, what are the effects of travel delays. So it's not just the actual stressor of traveling, but making sure that, if I have battery backups or if I have a
Oh,
backup
yeah.
for BiPAPs or whatever else kind of stuff, like all the amount of planning goes into it. To Joe's point, to your point,
Mhm,
even folks that like are well intended and who are going out of their way to kind of, seemingly go, being really considerate about what your needs are or how to make it as comfortable for you as possible. It's just
mhm,
it's when you actually get into the details of it. I remember having a conversation with you a couple of years ago that was like, oh yeah, like of course that makes sense now that you were sharing it with me. Like
mhm,
there's a lot of planning that goes into absolutely everything, and my eyes have been open to that a lot more in the last years in ways that I'm sure not are fully open yet. But it's something that I'm
mhm,
mindful of. If I was living in a cold weather place, I like the and traveling to cold weather places. I'll be in Virginia this weekend. Like once it gets to the point where there's any risk of like slickness or on the ground or something like that, I have to get like just incredibly careful. Um,
mhm. Yeah, and I think Ryan or Joe brought up a good point about always being cold. I mean, definitely that's an issue I have.
Yeah,
And so
it affects me
Thanksgiving,
too. You're not alone, buddy.
yeah. And Thanksgiving here, it's supposed to be relatively nice, but at the same time, I know my sister knows I'm going to be wearing a heavy sweater and
60
I'm
is
going to
cold.
sit.
It's okay. We don't need to try to compete with Montana frost.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, and they'll have the fireplace going, and that's where after dinner I will park myself, and everybody will be like, "It's so hot." I'm like, "It feels great." Yeah. So it's all about those type of things. Um, and yeah, I think it's also something we should talk about is it's okay to ask for something that you need, right? If you're cold, ask the host for a blanket or a sweatshirt. I don't think that most of the people would mind if you're going to their house, right? I mean, I think that they would want us to be comfortable. We're not telling them to crank up the heat, but asking for a blanket is totally okay. Um,
For sure. I think people who are trying to make an effort, who want to make it comfortable for you, you're actually doing them a favor and helping them to achieve that by
mhm.
sharing what it actually means and some of that perspective. So I think it's an important thing to remember that you're not that it's okay to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's see what's on the next page. I think it's hosting at your house. Okay, so what about when you host? So Ryan, you're hosting for everybody. Um, how do you handle shopping?
I give a list to mom in past years. This year I'll have to I'll do it again. So it just becomes a planning thing and making
Mhm,
sure to do it earlier before it gets crowded than later in the days and that kind of stuff. And then getting my house clean and ready and presentable is always something that I don't do a great job of keeping it up on a daily basis. So it's a concerted effort to get ready for people to do that. And that's grueling for me that physically that has become more and more difficult over the years.
Yeah, and I think that that's right. That's where it becomes a stressor that you have to pace yourself so that if you are hosting, you can also enjoy the day with people and not be too exhausted to have fun. I know, like personally, my sister will host Thanksgiving, I'll host Christmas. For me, my contribution is doing all of the food shopping online and having it delivered. So, I even tried to do that for her for Thanksgiving, but she told me no. I'm there as the backup when it's oh shoot, I forgot this. Um, so, getting that part done, trying to help where I can, but I have 4 dogs. So my house is going to be furniture covered until the very last minute. And then we have the problem of where are we putting everything, as in the dogs? Because if I leave them in certain rooms, they're going to get mad. So we're like, okay, well, who can we send to my mom's house? And what are we going to do here? So, and then honestly, something I learned 30 years ago was stay out of my mom's way. That she's gonna, set it up the way she wants, and you just gotta roll with it. And
I think a lot of people have
um,
learned that lesson over the years.
yes, it's a very smart lesson to learn.
Sure is.
And so yeah, it's things like that, helping where we can. But also, I think one of the good things I've noticed over the years, and maybe it's because of COVID, but we're much less formal than we used to be. We've always said we're an open house, doesn't matter how many people are coming. We've got way too much food anyway, the more the merrier. But she used to set out, all the silver, all the nice plates and dishes and everything. And now it's like she's totally happy with the pretty plastic plates that Amazon will deliver. And so I think things like that for all of us, though, right? If you can get nice disposable plates and silverware, it's just one last thing that you have to worry about setting up, cleaning afterwards, just to make things, one less stressor to take off the table, right?
Yeah, it makes the cleanup a lot easier as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my pump's
Absolutely.
running again, so it's nice and quiet in here again. Yay.
Good.
It's
One
it
thing-
was weird. It was sensitive all day, and then the batteries went out, and then it kept saying downward line inclusion, and just anyway, it's quiet now, so and it's almost done.
One thing that comes to mind about traveling, and I don't know about everybody, I don't know if this is the case with everybody else, but sometimes just planning out your infusions. So, like, you're dealing with your nurse or your infusion center or whatever to get ready to go if you're going to travel. And I don't know if it, like for me, when I get my infusion, I'm usually really, my best life is about 2 or 3 days after my infusion. I'm not sure if
Mhm.
it's I get some steroids with my infusion or if it's actually the ERT, but I feel pretty good for a few days. So I'm always trying to time everything that way and think about travel. It's just something we got to deal with our life, I guess.
Yeah.
Joe, it's funny you said that. I don't think I've ever asked anybody. My infusions are on Thursday, and like the following Monday and Tuesday, I'm just full of life, all kinds of energy. Just
Mhm.
so I don't know what that is. I don't get any steroids with it, but it's about 4 days later that, yeah.
And that was the case even before I got the steroids too, Vanessa. So
Yeah.
I've just always figured for whatever reason, it's my best, it's the best time for me in my life, I guess, about 3 days after an infusion. I mean, I feel somewhat, normal or better, I guess you might put it. Never going to say normal, but yeah.
Oh,
Normal.
y'all should have been on the call yesterday. I brought up a phrase that somebody told me years ago. It's your abnormal normal self. And I love that phrase, right?
It's a good one.
hmm Um, but no, I think that's interesting. How long does it last for you, the feeling better?
For
A
me,
day or two?
it's it's usually 3 days, 2 to 3 days.
Awesome.
And Vanessa, sounds like that's interesting. You're the same way, huh?
Yeah, mine's the week after infusion. It's my best. It's not the day
I mean-
after. It's within 3 or 4 days, and then it hits, and it's
Yep.
awesome. And then it'll last for maybe 4 days or so. So I've
In
kind of
fact,
thought
Yeah.
it's normal for me.
Could you ever
That's
feel like
great.
you could overdo a little bit? Like, I mean, sometimes I feel like I overdo a little bit in the next couple days after.
No, I well, y'all know I go to the gym, so I make sure I put in the extra effort and I've got that extra energy. I don't seem to burn it off very quickly either. I can go all day long. I still have a lot of energy. So I don't know what it is. Ryan, do you have that? Like a burst after your infusion?
Not that I notice.
We're all on the same med. That's why I was wondering.
For better or worse, I don't seem to have any kind of, I'm not aware of any dips associated with like just before my next infusion or any highs at any point afterwards. But I also, maybe I'm just not sensitive or paying attention to it well.
Try to pay attention 3 or 4 days after your infusion and see if you get like a rush of some sort. It's been happening to me for a while. I thought I was probably the only one. So Joe, I'm glad you share.
Yep. I think is Ryan on Pombility?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why I asked to see if he was feeling the same thing.
Just as a quick reminder note, this is recorded and they'll want to share it. So to the degree that we can be mindful about product
Yeah.
names, and stuff.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I forgot about that.
Or any private health information about yourselves that you wouldn't want to be able
Yeah, if you're good with it being shared, then that's fine. All right. So I mean, I think honestly the stressors, you know, be kind of maybe a little bit easier at home. You're in your comfort zone, but it's more difficult to host. It's also a strain in that regard as well. All right, let's go to the fun part. I think the next slide is fun. What are your favorite holiday traditions? So I can start. I'll tell you some of the things that we do. So my mom's Italian, so you always have to have stuffed artichoke included with everything. We have lasagna with our Christmas dinner, and my sister's doing it for Thanksgiving this year. And then my mom's pecan pie and Andrea's pumpkin pie with what is it, eggnog whipped cream? I think that's what she does. So yeah, just fun traditions like that. Food is always, I think, for us at the center of the holidays. Plus, we're South Texas, so you got to have your tamales with Christmas. We start them actually Thanksgiving, and then just really spending time with family for us is what it's all about, right? And like I said, we do open house, the more the merrier. But what about y'all? What are your favorite holiday traditions? Anybody want to go first? And Nina and Frank, get ready. I'm gonna call on y'all too.
We pretty
Oh
much
yeah,
echo everything that you do. I mean, we
yeah.
just a little different style, but we love board games. That's something we do a lot in our family too. And it's something I enjoy because I can sit there at the table and play cards or play games, enjoy it. It's not too hard for me to have to do it, and I love to eat. Gosh, I love to eat all that. I'm hungry talking about pumpkin pie with the whipped cream on it. That sounds pretty good right now.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to next week, aren't we? Vanessa, how about you? Do y'all have any special family traditions?
We do. We have a couple of really favorite movies we have a bunch, but there's 3 that are on top of my head. Was Jingle All the Way, the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger looking for the doll. Turbo Man. And then Elf. My son loves Elf, that movie with Will Ferrell. And then Santa Claus is Coming to Town is one of my favorite. I used to watch it as a kid. It's that animated. So yeah, those are our favorites. So we always watch those. Everybody still lived at home, which everybody's kind of scattered these days. But we would open one gift on Christmas Eve. I would probably pick out the one I wanted them to open. And then the rest would all be Christmas morning. We all have matching pajamas. Even now that we live in different places, we still all get the same pajamas. We wear them Christmas Eve, and of course take pictures. So
It's funny you mentioned Christmas Eve. So that's something else that when I was younger, there was no treatment, and when my health got worse, waking up in the mornings was just difficult. And so we started the tradition of Santa came to our house early, and he would come Christmas Eve. And so, yeah, we started doing all of our gift opening Christmas Eve, and it actually we've continued that with my sister and her 4 kids. And so they come over to our house or my house now, Christmas Eve, and we open the gifts with them. Santa comes for them to our house, and then again to their house in the morning. And it's we have a little food, pizza, something, but it's just something special we've always done to accommodate me not being able to get up in the morning. And as adults, honestly, we all love it because you clean up all the mess from the kids before Christmas Day. You're not running around getting the house ready and also cleaning up wrapping paper and stuff.
well, yeah,
So
that and
it worked
cooking
out.
Christmas dinner. It's easier to concentrate on the food if you don't have all the other stuff
Hmm.
going on in the morning. We always do a breakfast strata. It's just our tradition every. I make it on Christmas Eve, and then we cook it Christmas morning when we're opening everything. It's a little bit different the last couple of years. It's gluten-free bread. It's okay. You're not eating the bread by itself. It's kind of mixed in with everything. So, yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is. It's sausage and cheese.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very good. That's just our little tradition, and then we eat it for the next 2 days.
Mhm.
Inside pan. But yeah,
Oh yeah, you gotta have the leftovers, right? I mean,
gotta have them.
what's Thanksgiving and Christmas without leftovers? And
Well,
then
it's
having
almost
it until
better.
you're sick of it.
Yeah, it's almost better the second time. Kind of like
Mhm.
spaghetti, It's always better the second time.
So, Dr. Martinek, if you don't mind, do you have a favorite holiday tradition you'd want to share? Or Dr. Raven?
Not really.
Watching
Well,
football, it sounds like.
yes,
Hi, everybody.
I don't, as you can see, I've never contributed to this because I wanted to be educated about everybody's journey and everything else. And it's better for me to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, you're part of the community too. So we'd love to hear from you on fun things like this.
Yeah, and of course, allegedly being a scientist and everything else, I was very interested in hearing about your highs or lows after your infusion and everything else.
Mhm.
And I've always made I don't know if it's in the literature, whether after you got your infusion, how I always assumed that it went up and down as far as the available enzyme for everybody, but
Mhm.
yet some of you felt uh, better or more energetic, except for Ryan. Uh,
Mhm.
After about 2, 3, 4 days and everything, which makes sense to some level,
Mhm.
So yes, I will. Besides that, I want to be, listen to you guys and be educated in your journey and everything else. And of course, I met Tiffany
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember, we had dinner with your father and your mother
Mhm.
and Al Sloanham and a few others when you were first presented and everything else. I think you were
Mhm.
like 11 or 12 years old at the
11 or yeah, I was probably 12. Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Arnold Roycer was there, and I don't know if member of Nina was there, but
Yep, she would have been there.
yeah. So it was an education, and that's the
Yeah.
reason. I don't mean to pry into your private
No, we
life.
love you're part of y'all are part of the community. We love having
So
y'all.
again, it's being educated in your journey.
Mhm. Dr. Raven, how about you? What's your favorite holiday tradition?
Uh, Oh, I don't even know. You know, I'm in a bad mood currently, so I'm not thinking about my favorite activity, favorite. But I do love Thanksgiving. I really love. That's my favorite holiday
It's
tradition.
it's mhm,
Yeah, yeah. Tradition. We are always. I'm very lucky. I have my family around in the area, so
mhm.
and we are like 25, 26 people. So it's really a blessing.
That's wonderful. Are your grandkids going to be there?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, what's your favorite thing to eat or have somebody cook, or that you cook?
Say it again.
The favorite food item. What do you do that's your favorite?
But for Thanksgiving, it's
Uh-huh.
always classical American food,
Hmm.
nothing else. No Russian food, no French, no nothing. It's just all American.
Well, I'll send you my mom's pecan pie recipe because it can't be beat. I
I
promise.
I can imagine. Yeah.
Oh, good. I think, you're right. It's wonderful and fortunate to have all your family close by. We're very similar. And it's funny, we talk about, well, we're going to have a small Christmas this year. Only my aunt and my uncle and a few people. But then you start counting how many people you're actually talking about. And it usually gets to be 20 to 30 people, even when you're saying it's small.
That's right.
So it's wonderful to have the full house. I think yeah, that's one of my favorite parts also. Um, so let's see, who else? Marcia, what about you?
This was more from when I was working full time, where you really appreciate Thanksgiving break, the little bit you have at school and Christmas. So what I remember the best is always you knew it was going to be Thanksgiving when I started making the big batch of cereal snack. And I always have the fireplace going and either Christmas music or Christmas movie on while I'm doing that. Then after the cereal snack, you start moving into the prep because Thanksgiving this is Wednesday night, would be on the
Hmm.
Thursday, and we always had a few people come over. So yeah, it was just the opportunity of making the table look really, really pretty because we
Hmm.
always use paper plates and stuff. So it's my one time to put on the nice tablecloth and make it look really nice and let people know that I am my mother's daughter. She was a big foof queen. You never see that part of me. So it's fun, and it is a lot more work. I always bitch at myself while
Hmm.
I'm doing it. Why am I doing this? But I look forward to it.
Hmm.
And this year, since everyone is scattered for Thanksgiving, we're doing our big family dinner this Sunday, um, which is I'm going to make a turkey, but I haven't made this for years, but I'm going to make this chicken cordon bleu where you pound out the chicken and roll it up.
Hmm.
And it takes forever, but it just goes along with, I'll probably have some
Hmm.
wine. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll
Good.
let you know on Thanksgiving if it was worth the effort. If it wasn't, then I won't do it again. But anyway, I'm planning out my shopping list now and I'm gonna start the shopping tomorrow and prepping tomorrow afternoon. There's things that you can do early. So anyway, it's
Hmm.
always a good time.
That's awesome. Can't wait
Yeah.
to hear all about it.
Yeah,
Morgan,
I'm gonna
uh,
go to Tiffany's house. She
yes.
invited me over, and they do. Oh, and Andrea, I'm gonna be at Andrea's house this time. It's fun. It is there's a ton of people, and what I find most amazing is Andrea's kids on their big wheels, these big and just running. I mean, it's just nice. It just mass
It,
chaos. So, there is no one here in San Antonio but my son and two grandkids. All my family lives either in California or up in Ohio. So um, we have nobody. So it's nice to be around big family. Really nice.
well, you have us. You're part of our family. So,
Yeah. I appreciate
but
that because
it's
fun.
we are definitely chaos. I am not going to lie.
Oh, but
Um,
it's fun. It's fun. I love it.
Morgan, how about you? What's your favorite?
Right. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, you know, like macaroni, the
Hmm.
turkey, that my favorite. I
Yeah.
like, I like, I like macaroni, the macaroni.
Yeah. Yep. Those are both awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, you think back to different times in your life, and I mentioned my aunt's house. It was my dad's sister, and she passed away, but she made the best mashed potatoes. Like, my sister has the recipe and is gonna try to make them.
When was little, I haven't been family, and and at home,
Hmm.
my family was come over to Alaska because my aunt made a family just there on his house, so
Hmm.
everyone came over to Alaska.
Yeah, that's it's easier when they come to you, isn't it?
And
But yeah,
we live like 5 minutes from them, so
yeah. Well, my aunt used to make mashed potatoes that when they were sitting there ready for you to scoop them, you could see the butter pooling in the
yeah.
top. I mean, everybody's tried to replicate these mashed potatoes. My sister even went over there early once on Thanksgiving to watch her make them. And Adria's are good, my mom's are good. They're just not Aunt Sis's.
Yeah, they're not the same. And she did give me the recipe, and I tried it once, and it was not the same. Even with her recipe, I think it just came down to like her touch. It has to be
Well,
her.
and lard and butter.
Or
Yeah, I
she
don't
left
have a
out
ton of
an
Crisco.
ingredient, a secret ingredient that she didn't tell anyone about. Was
She
that?
may have,
Yeah.
but I also don't have a tub of Crisco like she did.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I mean, we're not saying nobody says that Thanksgiving and Christmas are healthy, right?
no.
But they're good.
My father used to make some famous sweet potato pie.
Mm,
After he died, my mom started making it, and it had never been the same. And
yeah.
she done the exact same thing that my daddy used to do.
Hmm.
And I was not like, they're not the same. Just something about having your father make
Hmm.
you
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But they're good memories to have, right? You just one of these days it'll be good again. But yeah, my sister tried to make my mom's pecan pie. It was a massive failure. I mean, no offense, Andrea. It just did not work out. I think you didn't
Well,
cook it
on that
well
one,
enough.
she did leave out an ingredient.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, because I was like, what happened? And she looked at it and she was like, oh, I forgot to tell you you're supposed to do whatever. And she was like, you don't follow that part. And I was like, oh my gosh. So then it was just like liquidy and would not solidify. But
But
she
it
did
was
leave
really
out,
good.
she left out like
It
a
was
step.
it was really good on top of ice cream. So you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It ended up being like a sauce over the ice cream. So, which was good,
Hmm.
but yeah.
So let's see. We kind of covered. Clearly, we're all foodies, right? And we're all very excited about eating next week. So that's awesome. And let's see, what else are we looking forward to? Well, my Christmas tree is already up. I'm not going to deny it. It is up. My niece decorated it. I'm excited. They're starting to do the lights outside. So it's feeling like Christmas.
I know. Since
But
we're doing our family meal on this Sunday, I'm gonna
Mhm.
take off all the fall crap and get my whatever Christmas.
Mhm.
I gave most of it donated most of it to Goodwill last year. I lost my husband in 2021, and last year it was just a horrible year because my son was in the hospital at the exact same time. So when I looked at my Christmas stuff, I just donated all of it away, except for some garland and some lights. So I have to regroup now. I'm thinking just doing garlands and lights and just say, to all the little statues and crap that you lay around, to say no to that. And try to get that back. I mean, just too many years in a row that disaster struck the Zimmerman clan. So this year's going
Yeah.
to be a good year. And I
There you go.
realized, yeah, when I saw my Christmas tablecloth had Santas on it, I had a real distaste for it. And when I was looking at the funeral flowers were on that tablecloth. So I have since got a new one that I'm excited to put up. So I'm thinking just out with the old, in with the new, and start
There
new
you go.
traditions. So
Well, Andrew and I are excited about doing Hobby Lobby one day. We've already,
oh,
yeah, after Thanksgiving, we're gonna hit up Hobby Lobby.
will you let me know and let me show up? I'll go too. I'll go
Yeah, we
yeah,
will.
I love Hobby Lobby. Yeah, yeah. So we'll make sure we are at the same one because
You're invited.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Anyway, cool.
So let's see. What other holiday items? I mean, clearly travel are issues. What about, forget COVID, right? Just for me, I have a stressor for me is, are people healthy, right? And you always hope that if they're coming around you, knowing our respiratory issues, that they'll be considerate, and if they're sick, stay home. But you always have to wonder, right? So that's back to kind of stressors a little bit. One of the ones you have, because it's cold season, it's flu season, you just never know. Does anybody else kind of struggle with that? Or is that just me being paranoid?
No, it's not just you. It's definitely the struggle's real. You're always concerned
Mhm.
about it pretty much all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Am I on mute? When I go to Ohio a lot in early December and to see my sister and her family, and I was there once and got sick, started getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
And from then on, every time I go, I just get, I don't know why, I get picked on about getting the whole family sick. It's like, it's not my fault. So now, because I'm going, I always have to make sure I have my flu shot, anything I can get that will, so I can go in saying, well, if I get the flu, I had the flu shots, life's a bitch. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I worry about that. No one wants to go visit someone, not, I stay for a week, 10 days. So I didn't go sick, but I got sick there and got them
Yeah.
sick and haven't lived it down yet. So anyway, so I do my best to get all my immunizations up to
Mm-hmm.
snuff before I go. I'm getting my flu shot tomorrow. It'll be 2 weeks.
Well, so last year I had family members that were very sick, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to make it. This one has COVID, his whole family has COVID. And I'm thinking, well, I know he's around his mom. Okay. And his mom was coming, my aunt. And Christmas Eve, I did a phone call and like, oh yeah, we're feeling a little sick, but it's just a cold, we think. And I'm thinking, well, why are you coming? Come to find out, they ended up taking my aunt to the urgent care. She had COVID.
Oh,
And they're
well,
like, yeah, I guess we'll stay home. And I'm like, you think? Like,
yeah, that's
why is
sad.
this? Why are you even considering coming if you've got even a cold? Like, so you always wonder that with even family members that are close that should know better, right? So maybe I just have very thoughtless family members. I don't know. Andrea can weigh in on that one. But for the most part, on the other side of the family, I remember when COVID hit, right? The first couple of years, We still got together with my uncle. We did keep it very small. And everybody that came, they're like, we'll take the COVID test that morning. And I mean, that was before vaccination, before everything. But to me, it was like, I just appreciated that I didn't even have to ask. They just volunteered, like, we'll do this to keep you okay. So, yeah, I mean, clearly we don't do that anymore. Everybody's vaccinated if they want to be. If not, I am. So at the same time, if you had a fever or you're coughing, stay away from me. That's all I ask. I'll take my chances with the kiddos who are going to grab my fork and drink out of my drink. But other than that, yeah, keep your germs away. All right.
And my kids are absolutely going to drink out of your drink and use your fork and taste your mashed potatoes or your sweet potatoes with marshmallows.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it goes without saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got Alyssa addicted to coffee when she was little. Because she always wanted my coffee.
Always.
The ironic thing is there could be 2 coffee cups next to each other. One mine, one my sister's. They went after mine every time. It's
Even
like
if she
not
didn't know whose was whose, like she didn't even know it was yours. And
no, she had no idea.
yours.
She would
And
grab
she
mine.
would grab.
It just got to be a joke, like, oh, okay, here you go, have mine.
Yep.
But that makes you strong. But again, all this that we're talking about comes down to what's really important, right? It's family. And it sounds like we're all very lucky to have really supportive and good families. And, sometimes it's not even just the family you're born with, it's the family you create. So when I said Marcia's part of our family, I mean it. Like, we've known Marcia since 2001, and she is absolutely part of my family now. So it's Matt. So it's the family you're born into, the family you create for yourselves. All of that is important, I think.
It is being down here all those years by myself with just 2 little kids when Matt and Adam were little, and I got associated with your family. It was just such a godsend. Because I knew I would never call and ask for help, but I knew I could anytime I had to. And your mom just turned into such a mother. Anyway, she watched me go from that, remember, part-time job to part-time job, and finally threw me a bone and asked me if I wanted to work with the AMDA and deal with the patients, which I thought was a wonderful thing, because there's nothing like nothing like I do, nothing I like better than helping people that need help. Yeah, and I have a lot of past
You're great
experience.
at it.
Yeah, I am good at it. That, I didn't realize that. I found that I am good at getting people to do what they really should do. Anyway, I appreciate having family down here.
Good. Matt, what's the next slide? Because I don't remember. Okay, so we're gonna do the fun stuff. What do you prefer, real tree or fake tree? I have a strong opinion on this one, so
Yeah,
I'll
we
go
do.
last. Yeah, we have a very strong opinion.
Which is?
Ooh, no, okay, fake tree all the way. Andrea, would you like to tell the story of why, or do you want me to?
Our mom would read us this book. If you've never read this book, just don't. You don't need it in your life. It ruins you. It's called The Little Fir Tree. In a nutshell, it is about a little tree who sees other bigger trees getting cut down and getting to be Christmas trees. He envies them. Finally comes his time. He gets cut down. The book actually talks about how it hurts, but it's going to be worth it because he's going to be like this beautiful tree. And how the lights are a little bit hot, but it's okay because he's this beautiful tree. And then it gets to like the end of the season, and then essentially he just gets thrown into the furnace, and it hurts and it burns and it's sad. But then he's like, but it was worth it because I got to be a special Christmas tree. It was
No.
traumatizing to a child.
Its last thought was, I wish I was still back in the forest.
Oh my gosh. It's so
Yeah.
sad. And then one year, Tiffany, do you remember this? Like mom actually, like we did like a guest speaker or a guest reader
Uh-huh. Oh,
in
yeah,
fifth
yeah.
grade. And mom came and she was like, I'll be the guest reader. And we were like, just don't bring that book, like anything but that book. And she was like, why? And we were like, don't do it. She did. She brought the book, the entire
Yeah.
class. I can still remember my like whole fifth grade class crying.
I mean, it was a very traumatic story, and it was a tradition in our family that every Christmas she brought it out and read the damn book.
It
And
was terrible.
Andrea looked for it so she could traumatize her kids and couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it. I wonder if I haven't looked in years. I looked
There-
when like my oldest is now 17. So I know I looked when she was little. So it's been a minute. I'm gonna look on Amazon and see if they have it.
the version that Andrea found had all the trauma removed. It was just a
Yeah.
happy story. It had no traumatizing. But no, so yes, I am fake tree all the way.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
that
then you don't
is
have to water it. You don't have the pine needles falling. But I do think there's something magical, like when you see it. I mean, I've only seen it in videos and books and stuff, but like where you go cut down your own Christmas tree as a family, it does seem kind of magical when you don't think about the tree having feelings.
I have a story.
but
I like
Go
real
for it.
trees. And every year I would take, John and I would take the two little kids out. We tromp through, and it's snowy because we're living up north in Cleveland. This is the year I remember, and cut down our tree. It was always a good time, except for the last time that we got a live tree was we were out there, and then I got sick, the stomach virus, and I think either Adam or Matt, I don't, maybe it was Matt that got sick, and we were throwing up, and oh my God. And so here's John lugging all of us back on the sled with the tree, and it was just not a pretty sight. It wasn't fun. It wasn't a fun family thing, Andrea. You did not miss anything on that one. So the following year, we were all in the car to go get a Christmas tree, and he drives in the Target parking lot, and we went in and no more live trees for us. Our tree, we could pick out our tree at the Target, you know, so we got artificial from then on. But yeah, I can still remember, oh my God, I was so sick. Couldn't even walk back to the car sick. It came on just like that. Oh, two of us.
That's the worst. And those things will ruin you for life. Those stomach bugs, they'll ruin you for like whatever event happened before it.
Anyway, yeah, ruined it for John, that's for sure. He had to lug us all back on that sled with the tree.
My
That's
recollection, if I may, my recollections about Christmas tree in back in Russia, it was impossible to get a Christmas tree. Like, we never called it Christmas tree. It was a New Year's tree. And my daughter was born right before the New Year on the 29th. So it was a big deal to get a tree. For kids, they were expecting it, but you know what they saw there was essentially just a stem with a couple of branches. You know, you couldn't, it was so bad that you couldn't even put the decorations on it. So we would end up buying like 4 or 5 of them so that we can put them all together, and then there would be a little bit of greenery around. So it was really a hunt for the tree. It was a big deal. So my recollection is, and so here when I see the Christmas tree which are discarded and then just lay on the street after sitting nicely in the house for probably 3 to 4 weeks. So I wish I had the one which was discarded back there in and it was gorgeous compared to what we had. So it was the whole operation to get a New Year tree because our daughter would just suffer if she hadn't had a New Year tree. So
But see, I bet she loved the tree no matter what. I bet she has good memories of it.
she probably has good memories of it. That's right. Yes. Yes, you're right.
I never knew it was called a New Year's tree. A New Year's tree. That's really
Yeah, a New Year's tree.
a New Year's tree.
Yes, a New Year's tree. It was never called because, you know, nobody celebrated Christmas
Right.
in Russia. Yeah. but everybody had a tree. You know, they loved it. It was one of the best holidays, by the way, in Russia, because it was non-political. Like here, Thanksgiving is, you know,
Yeah.
not related to any religion or politics.
Right.
Yeah, it was. So the New Year's was probably the most popular holiday. All the others were the May Day parade, the Women's Day, October Revolution. It was all kind of political holidays, but this one was not, and so everybody loved uh, New Year's tree. Mhm.
Yeah, I love that. And I think, yeah, it'll definitely be the Christmas and New Year's tree now for me from now on.
Uh,
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave ours up so we have the excuse to call it a New Year's tree.
I mean, we do that anyway. So now we just have a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now we've got a name for it. When somebody says your
Mhm.
tree's still up, yes, it's our New Year's tree.
It's a New Year's tree. Yeah, that's right.
So how about the rest
And
of you?
by the way,
Any strong feelings?
it was a strange mix because it was a New Year's tree, but you can have a Santa Claus coming with presents for your kids. So it was a strange kind of combination.
That's
I
funny.
liked it. Yeah. So next one, turkey or ham?
Hmm?
Do you like turkey or do you like ham? Which is
I like
everybody's favorite.
turkey. Yes, I like turkey. Yeah.
I like smoked turkey or I like ham. Not a fan of regular turkey, but
No?
smoked turkey is delicious.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm going to eat regular turkey, but leftover wise, the other two are better.
Uh-huh.
I like both. Both are going on my plate side by side, same time. Now, if somebody said you have to choose, like you couldn't have turkey and ham on your plate, like you'd have to choose, then turkey because it's Thanksgiving.
One thing I can tell you that I'm a turkey cutter every year because I know anatomy.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, Nina, you need to come to our house for Thanksgiving
I have
because we do not have a turkey cutter.
okay. Yeah, so I'm a designated turkey cutter.
That's awesome. I love that. Oh,
Mhm.
I will tell my dad that. He is kind of forbidden from cutting the turkey from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't go well. Warren cuts the turkey.
Yes.
How about you, Joe? Turkey or ham?
I'd say smoked turkey all day long.
Yeah.
I love it. Yep,
It's so
good
good.
leftovers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh, the sandwiches you can make.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Although if you get like the honey baked ham, well, we get it at HEB,
that's
but
pretty
the
good
ham,
too.
yeah, you get your little Hawaiian roll
Oh
and you
yeah,
put a little mustard and honey baked ham and
And
yep.
Swiss
cranberry.
cheese. Oh, it's all good.
I should have
But
eaten
yeah,
lunch before this.
I know this was bad. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm awful. Vanessa, how about you? What's your favorite?
I'm kind of with you guys. A regular turkey, I think, is a little bit boring, but smoked turkey is amazing. And I
Mhm.
like honey baked ham, so I'd be between those two. Honey baked ham is amazing. So, and believe it or not, they're gluten free.
Ah,
So
there you go. But
see,
it sounds like we all need Nina's recipe for turkey. And we need her to come carve our turkeys for us.
sounds good.
I wouldn't say
Okay,
no.
last question. Opening presents or the stocking?
Opening
Presents. I liked it, Morgan. Yep.
I don't feel like presents, but something about making on the paper and throwing it on the floor and it's fun.
Hmm. I think for me, I like giving presents more than I like receiving them.
That's
So I
right.
get really excited about picking out just the right thing and get excited about seeing the other person open it. And half the time I can't wait. Like Anderson, they usually get her Christmas presents in advance because Amazon delivers it. And I'm like, oh, you got to have it now. Here you are.
Mhm.
I'm the same way. I just went Christmas shopping for my kids a couple days ago. I did getting some little things, and then I gave them like half the things because I thought, like, one was a pair of fur boots for my daughter, and I thought, well, she's going to wear them all December and January, so we can't miss all
Right.
of December.
Yeah, it's finally cool enough for her to wear them.
And yeah, and we finally got our nice little cold front, so it is nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, um, this has been, yeah, Matt, you can do the next one. Honestly, guys, this has been a lot of fun. It's made me even more excited for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And, I know part of this series is about learning from each other, helping each other, tips and tricks. But it's also fun just to learn about each other as people and just to know each other better. So I think I'm walking away knowing a little bit more about each and every one of you, and even people that I've known for over 20 years. So I'm very excited about that. And we're going to take a little break in December and we'll start again in January. If anybody has suggestions for a topic that they'd like us to cover, please let us know. And if you haven't already, join our Instagram page. We've got, we post things there all the time. Sometimes it's inspiring, sometimes it's funny. So check it out. And happy holidays, everybody. I hope y'all have wonderful, safe, and fun-filled holidays. And we will see you next year, if
Thank
not
you.
sooner.
Thank
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you. It
a
was fun.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Frank, for joining.
Thank you. Have a good one.
I like
Bye,
Nina's
guys.
story. Thank you, Nina, for sharing.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Nina.
Have a
Bye.
great holidays.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.